talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. Today, I wanted to tap in and chat with the chat family about just because you have an opinion, it doesn't mean you have to always be right. Because there are many individuals who don't understand that concept. You can have an opinion that's different from others, but it doesn't mean that other people are going to always want to understand it, to be supportive of what you're trying to do. That's just how life is. And as adults, we can't make people be on our side. We can't make people believe in us. We can't make people support us. So ultimately, at the end of the day, it's up to us whether we're going to follow through and do what we want to do. Because today's topic is have your opinion without being controlling. Now, there are so many individuals that really struggle with this. Um, they have their opinion and they feel because they have their opinion, it must dominate everybody else's thoughts. Because there's a lot of individuals who feel that they are the only one that can feel this way, or they're the only one that has to be right. And we can't always be right. We can't always have our way. But one thing we can do is we can have our opinion, and also at the same time, we have our opinion, but we don't have to be controlling. We can let people have varying opinions. And I see that this is a part of contention and controversy among people who are ignorant or who are manipulative. We can have different opinions. That is the part about being an adult. We're all not going to agree on everything, but you can be have your opinion without being upset or angry that someone has a different opinion than you do. That's okay. It's okay for us to be different. That is the best part about this life and being an adult is learning from other people. I never thought about it that way. But there are some that are of the thought process that my way or the highway. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. And part of growing up and healing and maturing is understanding that, you know, we everybody didn't grow up the same. People go through different things. People have dealt with a lot of traumatic things in their life, and they just don't agree with that. And it's nothing wrong with it. When it comes to your children, your relative, your friends who you're in a relationship with, even people you encounter on social media, we can have varying opinions, but at the same time, be respectful. Now, we don't always have to agree to everything, but we can talk about things, and agree to disagree. Some things you're just not going to like, some things you're not going to be on board with, and that's all right. But also, at the end of it, you can have your opinion without feeling that you have to control what other people do. And I wish more people who were in management, like on the job, or some people would just learn that you don't have to control everything, and everything is not about us. Sometimes it's time for you to pause, be quiet, and just listen, and not try to control it, not trying to dominate the conversation, not always feeling that we always have to be right. Because there are a lot of times that we're not right. Unless you have walked in those shoes, unless you have been through certain things, you can't know what it's like. And that's why it's important for us to note two people can go through a very similar situation, but their results are going to be different. Their opinions are going to be different because we are all different. We all have different personalities. We all have different challenges and cope with things in different ways. But does that make the other person wrong? No. It just means that's the way that they feel. And I love having these sort of conversations to say, let's stop dogging out another woman or another man or somebody else. It's so easy for us to look at another person and judge them for what they have done or what happened in the past. Hey, realist, how are you doing? It's so easy for us to be judgmental of other people, look at them and judge them for the way they look, the way they talk, um, the predicament you may say that they put themselves in. But you don't know what that person has ever been through in their life. You don't know what that person's struggles are. You don't know that this is, they're growing. Sometimes people just get in situations that it just happens. Just life is lifing. Adulting is adulting. Some people just get dealt a raw deck of cards and they have to struggle so often in their life. But does that make them a bad person? No. And people will always say, "Oh, I don't judge anybody," and that's not true. I just about all of us as adults, we look at other people, we judge them, but because of their income or because of the way they look or because of whatever reason, you judge them because maybe they don't agree, maybe because of their financial situation. It's so easy for us to look at another person and judge them for who they are today, but we never know if we can't be in that same situation tomorrow. So judge not. Be careful, everybody, about looking at another person. And my dad used to always say, people will have their finger pointed at somebody else. You're judging them, right? You got one finger pointing at them, but how many fingers are pointed back at yourself? You know? So we got to be careful. It's just a note of caution, a reminder that we all need to. I remind myself of this too. I'm not out of this as well. I look at people sometimes and it's easy for me to jump off and to say something or to give a look or to have something to say. But have you been in their shoes? Have you walked in those shoes? Everybody doesn't have the same opportunities. Everybody doesn't have this good mental health. There's a lot of things that happen in life that cause people to be who they are. But today's conversation, I just wanted to really tap in and to say to the chat fam to let's judge less. Because I can't say let's stop judging because that's impossible. We are going to judge one another. But how about we judge less? How about we add some compassion? Listen before you judge, before you look at somebody sideways. Listen, have a conversation, you know, help, be nice, be kind. It takes nothing from us to do an act of kindness. Just something as simple as opening the door for somebody, having a conversation with somebody, smiling, saying hello. That doesn't take nothing from us as adults to be kind. And I just wanted to say everybody's entitled to their opinion. And everybody has one. But it can be irritating dealing with other adults sometimes that like to dominate conversations, that like to tell you what it's like being in your shoes. Like, people love to give you, oh, this is the solution. Like, really? If it's just that simple, then why don't you help them? You know, I'm learning as I'm getting older, as I'm getting more mature, as I'm healing. I'm learning that if I can't help, if I can't benefit somebody else, if I can't bless another person, I keep my mouth shut. And that's my 2 cents, everybody. Thanks so much for tapping in. You've tuned into the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If it's your first time here, feel free to tap that like, subscribe, leave me a comment below. Check out my other content, and I will tap back in on tomorrow.